Rockposer's Roulette.
Hi everyone, I'd like to welcome a very special guest to the show this week. Well, to me he needs no introduction, to you guys he will, and that of course is Greg Fraser from Brighton Rock and Fraze Gang. Welcome aboard, Greg.
Hey Dan, what's happening, my friend?
It has to be said, seeing you guys last week at Firefest was, well, certainly a dream come true to see you again. I think without question it was a unmitigated success on your part.
Well, like you said, dream come true it was a dream come true for us. I mean, the fact that, Brighton Rock pretty well broke up in 1992, I believe. So, the thought of us being back in the UK, playing in front of a sold-out, enthusiastic crowd, it was a dream come true, like you said. It was awesome. I mean, I can't believe it. It's only a week ago, and I'm still lingering in my brain here, going over, like the whole weekend. It was just a blast, and everybody's so nice there. And well, you were there. You know what I'm talking about. There's nothing new to you.
No, I mean, it has to be said from everybody I spoke to, all the artists and bands I spoke to on the weekend, they said it is the most professional festival stroke show in the world. So just from the point of view of the whole management of it, the setup, the sound quality, the audience response.
It's like one big family, and I know that word gets thrown around a lot, but it really is true. I mean, everybody in the audience, they're not there. Most of them aren't there just for one band. They're there for the whole package, for the whole thing. And the road crew, I mean, we did some big shows in the past, like big ones, and with big huge bands and stuff like that. And there's always a little bit of a tension with the road crews and stuff like that, and upper management and other road managers and stuff like that. But the Firefest crew are so awesome. There's you don't feel like they're like anybody's talking down, and if you ask for the littlest favor, they're more than happy to do anything for you. And you don't forget that kind of stuff. You always remember when you did a big show and then you walk away with a bad taste in your mouth because how you're treated sometimes, and not like that we wanted to be treated better than anybody else, but just as human beings. And the crew is just, that alone is awesome. I mean, they're so good. And Kieran, what can you say about him, man? He's the man. He was nice enough to invite us over,
And of course the crew were doing it all for free. They don't get paid.
Isn't that unbelievable? And Kieran did a speech after the show. We were having an upstairs party.
That's
there.
Right.
And that was the ninth year, and it's the exact same road crew since day one. Like not one person has quit. Like, what does that tell you right there? I mean, is that not a family or what? I mean, there's even a guy that's from, like, he lives an hour from where I am, which is in Canada here. He lives in Kitchener. And he's on the road crew. He's on the crew. He flies all the way over to the UK just to be part of the road crew because he just loves it so much. I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome, man. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. I hate the flight, but the gig itself is just unreal.
Well, obviously the 10th anniversary 5S is next year. I see Kieran's already posting on Facebook saying that he's going to be making the announcement this side of Christmas. I take it you guys would be happy to get invited back?
Absolutely. Like I said, we'd be back in a heartbeat. Oh, how could you not? I mean, it's so fun.
And hopefully next year we can get Fraze Gang on the bill.
Well, there you go. We're there. Half the band's already there anyways. We just got to get Phil Lepp and Derek McGowan over there, and we can rock the place. That would be a total dream come true. That would be unbelievable.
Well, going on to Fraze Gang, obviously you've got the second CD out, Fraze Gang 2, for those of you who've not, or stupidly not gone and bought it yet. And obviously you brought Derek on board to bring yourselves up to a 4-piece. What were the reasons behind it?
Well, after the first CD was released, being in Brighton Rock and bands before that, I was never a front man. I was never the lead singer. I always liked being just the guitar player. And so, when it turned out that I was going to be the lead singer, which wasn't by choice, it just happened to work out that way.
You mean Stevie chickened out?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Well, no, we audition other singers, and technically there was definitely singers that could sing better than me, but they just couldn't feel the vibe. And when they would sing our songs, it's like, well, technically you're good, you're really good, but you could tell you're not feeling it like us. So I just thought I would do it for the time being. And but what I found out live, I'm having a hard time trying to sing and play at the same time. And I know there's probably a lot of other bands that have that same type of problem. So and plus some of the guitar parts were starting to get a little elaborate, where I can't play, two separate guitar parts at once, plus remembering all the words and lead vocals. And so we got Derek on board, and he really helped us out a lot. And he's like our secret weapon, because this guy can seriously play, man. I don't know. You get a chance to listen to some of the songs on our new CD. A lot of times I'm getting credit for all the guitar work, but Derek, he's right there, man. He does some pretty astonishing things, and we couldn't be more happy to have him aboard.
Well, it has to be said, just reading obviously what is online on, of course, Facebook, etc., and various website reviews, I do think that the second CD has got a very, very good response from the audience out there. Obviously filling into that slot that people want to hear what is really music in the vein of sort of the late 80s, early 90s again.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. I mean, that's in my DNA. That's my roots. That's my blood. And the thought of changing that just to try to fit in with today would be wrong. For me to, it's like going back to Brighton Rock. I mean, that's my roots. When we played Firefest, we were just being ourselves, and that's what I try to bring to the table with Fraze Gang. We're just being ourselves. I mean, we'll get together and just jam in Stevie's basement. Crack open a couple of beers and just start jamming. And there's no audience there, so we're just playing for ourselves. And when something comes about that we really like, it's like, hey, that's cool, man. That's cool. That's what you hear on the CD. On the Fraze Gang too. It's just stuff that we love. And
well, that is, and I mean, it's a phrase I hate, but I'm going to use. That is sort of the old school approach to it. Really, it is going back to the roots.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of the bands today, they just kind of skip over like a lot of the early '70s, rock, like bands like Deep Purple and Zeppelin and Queen. And by the way, they're all UK bands, funny enough, and all those bands, they just kind of skip over it, and they just kind of try to pick up what's happened in the last 10 years, and it's a shame, because a lot of the bands don't have that depth when it comes to musicianship and the quality of songwriting and stuff. So I'm just rambling on here, but
no, you ramble away. I mean, one thing which I would really look forward to next year, obviously, apart from you guys coming back to Firefest, would be, and of course it's not now a rumour, that you're going to be releasing a new Brighton rock album.
Well, it's funny. We did a gig a week before we did Firefest in Toronto, so that was like our first official reunion gig, and it was crazy. I mean, there's a lot of people that haven't seen the band in over 20 years, so a lot of people reliving their youth in a lot of ways, and just so looking forward to seeing us, and we're looking forward to seeing them. And after the show, we're just kind of walking around the club, and people were just bombarding us with autographs and pictures, and we're like, wow, this is crazy, And at one point, we're all kind of scattered around in the bar, like at the club, and people were trying to gather us together to get like a group shot of all of us. So, after about 20 minutes, we all kind of assemble against this wall. So it's all five of us standing against the wall, and then people were clamoring in front of us. There must have been like at least 50 cameras all at once, just flashing. And I'm just looking at this barrage of flashes like, oh my God, I can't believe this is crazy. So, in a lot of ways, it just kind of brought it back to square one. It's like, this is what rock and roll is all about. Just having a great time and enjoying being with your friends. And so after the show, Jerry, our singer, he kind of comes up to each guy when he wasn't smiling. He had like a stern look on his face, like, Fraze, band meeting. Stevie, band meeting. So it was like, well, what the heck happened, man? Like, what's going on? So he gets it all together. He goes, I want to make a new record. It's like, oh, okay. Like, we thought something was up, but it's just a heat of the moment where it's all exciting. So then we do Firefest, and right after that, the crowd's all with us, and it's like it's all coming back,
Well, I mean,
and
everybody at Firefest, they were all singing along. Everybody knew the songs.
that's crazy. Here we are. We live in a different country across the world, and to come over to the UK and people are, like you said, are singing our songs. They know the words. Well, I'd start a song and they recognize the song. I mean, that still blows me away to this day. Like songs that I wrote in my bedroom or my basement or whatever that people across the world now know. So yeah, so there's definitely talk of doing a record. We want to do a new record. Now getting it done is a different story because it's going to be it's going to probably take about a year and a half by the time we write it and record it and produce it and master it and all that fun stuff. But it's on the table. It's out there.
Well, I for myself, of course, it will be as excited as hell and can't wait for that already to come out. I shall be counting the days and nagging the hell out of you.
I'm sure you will, my man.
Just winding the clock right back, what for you are your musical influences? What got you into guitar playing in the first place?
Wow. I think a big turning point was, well, two things. One was seeing the movie. I think I was in grade 7 or grade 8 in school. Seeing the movie, "The Song Remains the Same" by Led Zeppelin, like at a movie theater on a big screen, and I was just blown away by Jimmy Page. He had his guitar hanging down by his knees, and he looks so cool. And he comes out with a double neck guitar, and then with a violin bow, and it was just like out of this world to a kid, like an early teenager, and I just had to start playing guitar, and then I discovered Kiss from that. I was a big Ace Frehley fan. I just loved that the way he looked and that whole look of Kiss, just all that kind of stuff. And then once I started to learn how to play guitar, I discovered guys like Richie Blackmore and Michael Schenker, of course, is probably one of my biggest influences. And yeah, to this day, I still get a kick out of listening to all that music. I mean, if I make a mixtape for my CD for my car when I'm driving around, it still has all those old songs, all my early influences.
I mean, it's funny you say. I mean, when I was chatting to Jerry last weekend and Stevie. When you talk to you guys, I think what a lot of people forget when musicians are, they are still music fans. They do still actually admire bands and listen to bands. I mean, watching you guys last weekend, watching some of the bands that you weren't overly familiar with, and just so really getting into it. And people forget, they think, oh, he's a musician. Yes, but he's also a music fan.
Absolutely, and I hope I never change. I mean, I still get a kick out of meeting famous rock stars and want to get my picture taken, just like what some people want to get their picture taken with us. It's
especially like, if it's David Lee Roth, eh?
You remember that story? Yeah, just stuff like that. You meet people like that, and it's like I met Ronnie James Dio in a recording studio. And it's like, I'm a fan again, even though I'm recording a record just like he is. We're just doing the exact same thing. I look at him and go, wow, man. My heart starts beating like, there's Ronnie James Dio. Hey, bud, can I get my picture taken with you? And he asked me, hey, you got any rolling papers? But, yeah, so, I'm still a fan, and I probably will always be.
Excellent. If you could request one Fraze Gang and one Brighton Rock track for me to play on the show, which tracks are they going to be?
Oh, geez. Well, I would say...
Yeah, I'm going to put you on the spot on this one.
Okay, well, I would say Saint or Sinner, which is on Fraze Gang 2, the lead-off track. Brighton Rock, well, there you go. There's 3 CDs. I would think maybe play something like The Night Stalker. That's Jerry's favorite song. It's one of our heavier songs, not the most melodic. It's more of an evil song. But I don't know. It's Saturday, and I feel like listening to something evil right now.
There's certainly going on over the Brighton Rock albums. I mean, I would say the earlier stuff is heavier, and obviously the last album was a lot more melodic. But I think that adds a bit more interest to the fans. I know a few people I've spoken to are only familiar probably with your later stuff. I said, well, listen to the early stuff. It is different.
Yeah,
Would that be fair?
absolutely. I mean, you evolve being a songwriter. It's like anything. You grow and you hear new things and you're influenced by new things, and so that changes everything. But just going back to our roots, you know, you want to play what you would hope another band would play, type of thing. So like I said, we're into the early Zeppelin and Queen and Judas Priest and all that kind of stuff. So each record has at least 10 songs, roughly 12 songs, but we'll write 20 or 30, sometimes 40 songs. So sometimes the songs that end up making it on the CD might be a little bit more melodic or more heavy. So it's kind of hard to pigeonhole, but it is what it is. There's certain songs that you could pick up one album and put on another record, and it would probably still fit in. So it's all good.
It is. Well, Greg, I've got to say it's been a real pleasure talking to you again. It was a massive pleasure meeting you all last weekend. And, of course, it's going to be a real pleasure meeting you again next year when you're on the bill, because I'm going to nag the hell out of Kieran for it.
Oh, well, I'll owe you a couple of big, tall glasses of your cider there. Since you're not much of a beer drinker, you like the big cider, but that's okay, brother. Till the next time, my friend.
Excellent, Greg. Thank you very much indeed.
It's a gas.
Bye-bye.
Like the show? Visit our website, rockposer.com, or hit our Facebook page, Rockposers Roulette.